Hi guys, and welcome to the second episode of our series. In this episode, we will be discussing the trade test process as well as ARPL. Just to recap, I am only referring to the 5 trades that we do, but the ARPL, which you will understand later on in the video, does not relate to auto electrical as yet. So for now, it's only related to electrical, motor mechanic, diesel mechanic, and welding, not yet auto electrical. So I'm just going to get straight into it. If you are unaware of the trade test requirements, please watch the first episode in which we explain what the trade test requirements are. So you meet the requirements and you want to do your trade test, but you are uncertain of the process involved and the steps involved. First of all, if you meet the requirements and you are ready to do a trade test, the first step I recommend for you to do is to get your paperwork in order. The paperwork that you are going to need is a copy of your CV, a copy of your ID, your highest qualification, as well as a service letter. Now, I'm going to go over in detail how you can prepare these documents. Okay, your ID, it's common knowledge. Just make 2 copies, get it certified by the police station, please. So, your CV. I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to get your CV in order. Obviously, you are going to have all your relevant information, your credentials and that sort of thing on your CV. The most important information that you need on your CV is all of your work experience throughout the course of your life, throughout the course of your career, but obviously the experience that is relevant to the trade. So even if you have informal learning experience, you put it on that CV. So for example, what I mean is if you were working, for example, a backyard mechanic, put it on the CV because you have gained experience from that particular mechanic. As long as there are references that can substantiate for that experience, it's perfectly fine. All formal and informal learning or working needs to be put on that CV. The last bit of documentation is your service letter. I get a ton of questions about this, as a lot of people are not sure what a service letter is. A service letter is the letter that you are going to get from the company in which you are employed. Basically, this letter is to confirm that you're working there and to say what you're working as well as what experience you have and what your daily tasks are. It is important that this letter states how long you have been working for this company in detailed date. So day, month, year. It needs to be detailed. It also needs to be on a company letterhead. It's very crucial. And there has to be a reference which we can contact for confirmation. Now, your letter needs to equate to at least a minimum of 3 years. If you have, however, been working at a company for longer than this time, it is perfectly fine. If, for example, you've only been working at this specific company for 1 year, but you have a few other companies that you have been working at for a couple more years, you are more than welcome to attach more than one letter, as long as all those letters combined speak to your experience and speak to the fact that you have at least minimum 3 years work experience. Now, there are some of you who are self-employed, have been for the longest time, or have been in a family business or a friend's business that's maybe unregistered, or whatever the circumstances may be. You are more than welcome to write an affidavit speaking to that. But with that, you will have to attach at least 3 testimonials from 3 different clients where they will speak to the work or the services that you have rendered for them. They will also have to provide their details so that they may be contacted as a reference. But an affidavit is absolutely accepted as well. So all of your documents are ready. You have all of them ready in a little portfolio. You are now ready to proceed to step 2. What is step 2? Step 2 is the ARPL assessment. This assessment is compulsory, and this assessment was brought about by the government in order to open a fair system and a fair opportunity for everyone to be able to attempt a trade test. What the ARPL does is it assesses your readiness for a trade test. So it sees how ready you are for a trade test. It sees whether you have gaps in your learning, in your training, or in your working. It sees what this assessment basically does is it takes all of your experience throughout your career, whether formal or informal, and it takes it into consideration. That is why earlier I said that there's a bit of a blurred line about the highest qualification, because what this assessment does is it says, I would like to see how ready you are and what experience you have in the trade without really worrying about your formal learning. So that is why I did mention that there's a bit of a blurred line. Remember guys, this assessment is not designed to trick you. It's not designed for you to be studying frequently and aggressively before you come to us. It's there to see where you are at your stage of understanding, at the stage of your skill, at the stage of your knowledge, and it's basically going to give you a recommendation. The point of this assessment is to limit the amount of time you are spending on preparation, and it's to get everyone an opportunity to enter a process that will eventually lead to a trade test. So you will get one of two recommendations from this assessment. The first one is either going to say you are recommended for a trade test, which means cool, everything's in order. We can now proceed with the application. We can get you a serial number. You can come for preparation and then you can do your trade test. Or it's going to say, I see a little bit of gaps. I do recommend gap closure. So gap closure is where you will be closing the gaps that the ARPL recognizes. So what it's going to say is you need to go for gap closure training, which you will either still come to us where we will brush up on those gaps, obviously dependent on the gap. Remember, if the gap is too big, you are going to need to enter your workplace, get that experience going, and then come back to us. But if it's a small little gap, we can polish it up. We can train you and everything, get you ready. You then redo the ARPL, and then you're in the system, getting a serial number, doing preparation, and then ultimately leading you to the trade test. The ARPL assessment is compulsory for 4 out of our 5 trades. Auto electrical candidates do not yet do the ARPL. They will sometime in future, but not as of yet. It is step 1. It's not something you should be scared about. It's literally saving you time. It's saving you money. It's saying, cool, from this assessment, I can see that you're ready. You actually need 3 weeks of preparation or 4 weeks or whatever the case is, instead of it just being a standardized, you need 8 weeks, for example. It tells you where you are and it gives you your next step. It is saving you time, it's saving you money, it's trying to get you your trade, and it's trying to put you all on a beautiful new level so that everyone has access to the trade test. We are here to assist you every step of the way. So from the time you have your documents ready, from the time you want to do your ARPL assessment, we do everything for you. We do the ARPL assessment, we give you your recommendation, we do the application, we do the gap closure, again, depending on how big your gap is. We do the preparation and we do the trade testing. And eventually after that you will receive your Red Seal certificate. It does seem like a long process. It does seem like a tedious one, but it's not. We do everything for you. All you need to do is bring your big beautiful brains, come and do the assessment with us. It's not long. It takes a maximum of 2 days. and it consists of an interview, a knowledge assessment, as well as a little practical assessment. I cannot tell you what you need to study for it. A lot of you guys ask me, what do I study? How do I prepare? You don't. You just bring the knowledge that you have. We see where you are. We see in which direction we can lead you. We are here to help you guys qualify and to become tradespeople and to acquire a Red Seal certificate. Just a quick disclaimer, this is not a guaranteed trade test. You determine whether or not you pass or fail. You determine whether or not you get a Red Seal certificate. That is all from my side. If you do have any questions, again, please drop them below in the comment section. Please subscribe to this channel. I think it's good if you guys can just refer to these videos if you are uncertain of anything. And we will see you soon where we tackle episode 3. Bye guys.